Alright, let's try this shit again. I will eventually go back, and I'll delete that other one. But for now, welcome. Because I didn't realize that YouTube, yet again, changed their live streaming system. Without warning anybody. What a great return for my terrible, cringy streams. And for anybody wondering, yes, I'm actually doing a response video to Blaire White. Somebody that I praised to high heaven for fucking forever. And then she made a video on, well, not one person, but three trans athletes dubbed trans athlete. I belong in women's sports. Get over it. And it's still debating whether or not it was intentional or unintentional, but she basically pinned a lot of shit indirectly on Janae Marie Kroc, a bodybuilder that originally competed as a man and then transitioned after leaving bodybuilding. But as you'll all learn, God, I'm really rusty. As you either have learned or will learn, Blaire made a bit of an oopsie when talking about Janae and her bodybuilding status by claiming that Janae went back and forth, and then displaying on the screen a post where Janae said that she would only be competing, as far as I'm aware, against men, or was deciding whether or not she would be competing as a man or a woman. Either way, Blaire kind of lied. And that's what this video is about. Now, you'll notice that, unlike most YouTuber apologies, trademark, I don't know who trademarked it, but I'm sure somebody will. But, like any YouTuber apology, it's not dubbed, "I'm sorry." Well, at least, like any good YouTuber apology, it's not titled, "I'm sorry." No, as you can see, it's kind of labeled like a channel update. Let's talk. Oh, so cheery. Yeah, well, it's not so cheery. At least not to me. Now, if for anybody that's very in the dark about Blaire, Blaire is kind of known as being like the anti-non-binary, outspoken trans YouTuber. And this video, more or less, has just kind of revealed a pattern of Blaire kind of going for the quote-unquote strange people. And I just, as somebody that like originally started out on Tumblr, I was surrounded by the people that were like, "I'm emoji gender," or "I'm this and I'm that," and like completely out of this realm stuff that more or less shaped my foundation of, okay, these people are insane and aren't actually whatever. But then, like, at that time, I found Blaire's channel from a video that, I don't know if it's still up, but she made a video called Trans Retarded, which more or less, it kind of just confirmed my biases against a lot of non-binary people, and it more or less, she helped shape how a lot of people like me viewed non-binary people on the internet by using the bizarre and strange ones, as she says, to kind of portray the non-binary community as a whole. And, well, I kind of feel gross about it. I'm not gonna lie. Especially now that, like, I have non-binary friends, and I love them all to death. Every single one of them. And to see this pattern revealed that seems to be Blaire just having what I want to call a vendetta. I don't want to use vendetta because that sounds so harsh, like she's so gung-ho against all these people, but when you take into account like how she, one of the things that really rubbed me the wrong way was when she talked about the Vice panel and how the two non-binary individuals that debated her, quote-unquote, stayed at point A which is what differentiates her from them, because non-binary people stay at point A, which is false under many reasons. I know I've met trans people by definition. I've met non-binary people that do transition, that want to transition in one way or another, and I feel horrible for, like, believing that, no, I'm pretty sure this is bullshit. I feel fucking horrific for actually believing that. And I am sorry to any of my non-binary friends that I ever hurt. Ever. Can I? Yeah. I'm streaming.
Okay.
What?
Want to go out with us?
You guys are?
Do you want to go out with us?
No, because I haven't even finished this.
Me and Mom want to go get some dinner. We want to take you with us. Because they're all doing their thing, so whatever.
I mean, I'm also doing my thing. I'm cool. Thank you. Why does shit always happen when I decide to stream? Why? Why do people... This is why I don't ever have a streaming schedule. I tried to have a streaming schedule, like, at the very beginning of 2020. It lasted to March, I'm pretty sure. And then it was, like, on and off every month. I feel gross when I think about the mindset that I had when I first found Blaire's channel. This is why you don't stream in your closet, kids. No, that's not a closeted gay joke. I promise. And, well, then, I will admit, I watched this video. You can tell I watched it because I disliked it for multiple reasons. I will admit, she approaches it much more maturely than I've seen other YouTuber apologies, but that's about the only positive I can give her. That's literally, the one thing that she does do is take responsibility for a lot of people attacking Janae because of her video. But that's the only real credit I can give her, because this doesn't account for any of the past mistakes, and it especially doesn't cover the one thing that really pissed me off, which we'll get to, because she happens to bring it up herself. So, you know what? I feel like I've rambled on enough. It's been 7 minutes. How about we just get... what's the word? Let's make like a DeFranco and just jump right into it. What happened? Oops. If I... So, goes to show just how rusty I am. How on earth do you record and stream at the same time, and is it gonna stop streaming if I hit stop recording? Okay, whew. Pro tip, have the right window clicked, or you might hurt something.
Hey guys, so I am currently in a hotel room, so excuse the weird background. I'm on a work trip and I'm doing my best to film with no light and just weird hotel vibes.
No offense, this isn't really needed, Blaire. This is completely unnecessary details. Just say, sorry, I'm filming in a hotel room. Didn't have a better place.
So I want to be as clear and upfront in this video as I humanly can be,
because you weren't with your research.
As I have essentially disabled myself from being as clear and upfront as I need to be in the recent weeks due to me going offline and not having any social media apps on my phone. But now that I'm logging back in, I'm seeing a sentiment of people who definitely want me to talk about this again, but this time in video form, and I actually want to as well.
Okay, it's not that people want you to talk about it in video form, Blaire. It's that people want you to address this on the platform that you spread the misinformation to the most people. Over 400,000 people saw that video. Okay? That's more, I'm pretty sure, than followers you have on Twitter, which is where you originally posted your apology. And I'm gonna double check, but mind you, I don't have a Twitter. I don't like Twitter anymore, especially since they seem to have a problem with you chewing out pedophiles for being pedophiles. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Screw Twitter. Yeah, she has... Did that say? Yeah, your video got more views than you have Twitter followers. That's pretty bad. It says sign in, but both of my accounts are banned, so... whatever. But, like... And, as you can see, this video didn't get shit in comparison. Why? Gee, it's almost like she made sure as few people saw this as possible. Another issue I have with her.
So, I'm here to do that. 2 weeks ago, I posted a public apology to someone that I highlighted in a recent video of mine, which is now taken down. It was a video on trans athletes. In this video, I highlighted a couple different trans athletes.
Well, you posted your apology on your Twitter, where your smallest amount of audience saw it, and then you posted it to your 24-hour only live story on Instagram, which, again, probably very few of your audience saw, which is more than depressing, Blaire. Like, I always took you to be a bigger person than that. And, you know, willing to accept your faults. But you made sure as few of your audience saw this as possible.
And I talked about upcoming legislature that's, like, relevant to the topic. But long story short, one of the trans athletes named Janae, I really fumbled her story.
Yeah, it's almost like you outright lied when holding up a screenshot that said otherwise. Miss, she's gone back and forth while holding up a post that says that she's not. It's almost like you either A, didn't do your research, or B, actively ignored it. You know, something I wouldn't think a quote-unquote journalist would do. Oh yeah, if you don't know, she works for the Post-Millennial, or writes for them. I can't say works because I don't know if they pay her. Probably, I'd imagine journalists get paid. It's a job. But I also don't know if you can really consider her a journalist because she's, to quote, this is my favorite quote from D'Angelo Wallace's video, which is also in my description if you want to see a deeper dive on the pattern that Blaire has exhibited. But one of my absolute favorite quotes from him is, Blaire is a journalist for the Post-Millennial because she seems credible. But she seems credible because she writes for the Post-Millennial. Nowhere in this cycle does actual credential come into play. Keep that in mind.
I got her all wrong, and I said this. Something we don't often see is that Janae actually went back post-transition and competed.
Oh, look at that. It's almost like you actively cut out the part.
Men. She's gone back and forth competing with men and women. It is for no other reason than my own lack of due diligence and my own lack of sufficient research on
your own inability to read
her story that I said that. I genuinely did think it did not come from a deceptive place.
Gee, it's almost like you had a bias going in. Like you do against most non-binary people that look on the border.
Under the misconception that she competes in both men and women's leagues, she corrected it and said actually just men's leagues. And
which you failed to respond to for 2 weeks straight until she mentioned she was seeking legal counsel.
And to be frank, there is just no excuse for that kind of inaccuracy.
Then why, when everybody was pointing it out on like day 2, did you just actively ignore everything? Just because you delete your social media apps doesn't mean that you deleted your email. Which, I don't know about you, I still get notifications for my email. Regardless if I have my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever. Like, I still get my emails. And YouTube does email you when you get comments on your video. Which is why you actively, you know, block Janae's name from your comments section, right? But that would be hard for me to prove. Go check D'Angelo's video. I'm serious.
To be present in any of my videos, and I definitely never want it to happen again.
Which is why, again, you waited 2 weeks to cover your ass after losing, like, thousands of subscribers and dropping from the 1 million you hit for a week.
There is definitely no excuse for that. I know that the stakes are...
Correction, I don't know that it was necessarily for a week. I I am horrible with time. I will admit, I am horrible with time. That'll probably be held against me.
Much higher when you have an audience than if I'm just here shouting into the ether, which sometimes I feel like I am, to be honest. I'm sitting in a room by myself and I'm talking to a camera, which feels odd, but the reality is a lot of people are watching, and, you know, I can't take it back, but I definitely, as I have been stating, am incredibly apologetic, and I never want that to happen ever again.
We'll see how long it takes before she ruins another non-binary person's life.
So after I made contact with Janae a couple weeks ago,
you know, after 2 weeks of ignoring her,
I got the impression that she was very receptive and forgiving, which I was very grateful for, and I took the video down
and you're very lucky, because I'm sure that she would have found a good lawyer to tear you a whole new one.
Also, once I got paid from YouTube just a couple days ago, I actually sent her the totality of the AdSense revenue that I accrued from that video.
Which you shouldn't have accrued, because it shouldn't have been left up for 2 weeks straight when on day 2 people were telling you that you were spreading false information. Blaire, there's literally no excuse. Just say, I'm sorry that I was an idiot and left it up for 2 weeks thinking it would be okay because I wanted the money. Like, just admit it. And if that's not what it is, why did you leave it up for 2 weeks and ignore everybody?
I saw some people saying that was like a weird, odd move, but to me, it felt like the right thing to do. It felt like I would like to provide something even more tangible to her personally than just my apologetic.
Which, fair enough. I hope to God you gave her every cent for ruining her life almost.
Words, because words only go so far. While I know some people think this was intentional deception on my part, I can guarantee you this is not the case.
You know, which is why you actively hide the fact that the post that you put up in your video completely negates the lie you said. Blaire, this is literally the worst possible way you can apologize for this.
Lying about something that the public can then go correct you on is only slightly more dumb than not doing enough research and
which is why you've done it before.
Coming to a false conclusion. And it was a really dumb moment on my part, and I'm not taking away from that, but I also would like it to be known that it was not malicious intent or something that...
Which is why you left it up for 2 weeks, ignored Janae when she commented saying, by the way, this misinformation is actually kind of affecting my job. And other people saying, hey, this is affecting, you know, her public appearance. Could you take the video down that's full of lies? Oh, but what did you do? You ignored everyone.
That was intentional. Because trust me, if I could take it back, rewind time, I would obviously do that.
Yeah, I bet you would do that for all the other videos that people have called you out on too now. Or for your blackface controversy, which wasn't about the photo, but about the caption that you conveniently hide every time you bring it up. Huh, non-binary dragging kin, Black Lives Matter. You remember now? If you can't tell, I'm getting really salty about this. And that's depressing. This is actually depressing. I kind of want to cry. This is somebody that inspired me to, like, regardless of my identity as a trans person, I can be on YouTube like everybody else. And I can have my opinions heard. I can have my thoughts shared, you know? And then to find out that, oh, she's kind of a shitty person. Just kind of, it hurts. This physically hurts.
If I misunderstand a story and then I talk about it, it leads to other people also misunderstanding the story. And
you know, because misunderstanding and actively ignoring details is completely the same thing. Totally.
I totally get that. I don't know how I went from the video prior to that one with overnight shipping a long, obnoxiously thick novel.
Wait.
Of J.K. Rowling.
I'm sorry, repeat?
Understanding the story, and I totally get that. I don't know how I went from the video prior to that one with overnight shipping a long, obnoxiously thick novel Anyways, this time everyone is up in arms about her new book being released called Troubled Blood. And just a heads up, I read the book. I spent the last 12 hours reading it as an ebook. And just a heads up, I read the book. I spent the last 12 hours reading it as an ebook. And so the opinions you're going to hear today, the book, I spent the last 12 hours reading it as an ebook.
How do you overnight ship an ebook, Blaire? How? How do you overnight ship an ebook? You know what, I wonder, has anybody? Just straight fuck you. Not you guys, talking to my computer. But like, you just outed yourself as not having read the book, Blaire. You just admitted you're a liar. You literally you have no credibility. You have no credibility. I don't even want to finish this video, even though the ending is also garbage, but you literally just fucking admitted that you're a lying sack of shit about the book, because you didn't even read it. Now, mind you, I don't even have to tell you this, because another YouTuber, Samantha, actually did it before me, thankfully, and also read through the first 10 chapters, which I'm not willing to do, because I'm not willing to give J.K. Rowling money. So, yeah. Say her name. Oh, wait, you can't, because you blocked it from your comments, which, believe it or not, yeah, she did, because D'Angelo went out of his way to show that Janae's name is now filtered outside of misspellings and not plural, but the possessive noun form. But you otherwise can't find Janae's name properly in her comment section. And it's not just for this video. No, she did it for her whole channel. She did it for her whole channel. Imagine being... Like, I'm not even that sad. I just realized that YouTube had, like, my comments on withhold possible offensive... It's like, no, just... They're comments. Everybody's gonna comment weird shit on the internet. I don't care. Let them. Let people comment what they want and, you know, make the image of themselves for others. I don't gotta do that. But, like, how sad can you be to hide the person's name that you're apologizing to? Yeah, that's real apologetic, Blaire.
Of J.K. Rowling's for research to doing
such
incredibly subpar research on the second video, but I did, and it was dumb. And
it's almost like you didn't do any of it. It's almost like you wanted to rush it out because it was a hot topic and it would get you views. Because God forbid you go without enough money to go to Vegas. Yes, she went to Vegas after this video. I'm not saying that, you know, she can't go to Vegas. By all means, go have fun. If you got the money to blow, go for it. But, like, don't act like, you know, don't act like this was a, oh, I'm so sorry. I made this one-time oopsie. Because, no, this is just one snippet of a bigger issue that you keep projecting out.
And I am sorry. I also want to say that even if Janae competed in women's leagues, it was never my intention to send hate her.
Even though you know that you have a massive following, most of which are cis people that are biased against, you know, anybody that looks fucking weird. You should know better. You should know better. Literally, your other trans friend YouTubers get hate when you have people... You should know what people are willing to comment to others on the internet. Especially your audience.
Her way. I didn't want any hate sent her way, but I also understand that if that's the effect, then that's the effect.
You know, which is why you touch on really touchy topics that usually get people's piss boiling, and then don't expect the people that you mention incongruence to those problems to get any backlash. You know, she doesn't even apologize for saying that, oh, you know, it's a biological disadvantage if trans women compete against women, but not if trans men compete against men. You know, there's a lot of double standards that come from Blaire. And it just... I already said it once, but it brings my piss to a boil. I'm sick of it.
And it's still my doing, and I take full responsibility for that. I mean,
Good.
It just wasn't cool to let a video like that slip through the cracks without...
Except, you know, for letting it be up for 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna let that go. You can apologize all you want for, oh, I didn't mean to have something with misinformation. Then you should have removed it day 2 when the emails came pouring in of people commenting, hey, you're kind of lying.
Being completely vetted and me being completely confident in it. I think even when I made the...
If you weren't confident in it, why would you post it? Like, full offense, I was confident when I made my Blood Sea review / my Let's Talk video. But, you know, looking back on it now, I shouldn't have been as confident because it's not a very good video. It's really poorly done. It's really badly scripted, and I shouldn't have been as confident in it as I was. But you know what? I posted it because I was confident in it at the time. Just admit you were confident in it, and that's why you shared it. If you weren't actually confident in it, you shouldn't have shared it, because that just goes to show that you didn't even understand what you were talking about, or didn't want to bother to. Because you just wanted to get this video out for views while the topic was still hot off the fryer. Just admit it, okay? Like, nobody's gonna hold it against you for doing your job. This is literally your job. This and public speaking. Nobody's gonna shit on you for doing your job. People are gonna shit on you for actively backpedaling on your bullshit. That's why people are pissed. That's why people are actively unfollowing and unsubscribing. Because you can't just say, I'm sorry I lied.
The statement that she plays in both leagues, you could almost hear in my voice I wasn't super confident.
And that's when you should have stopped recording and not made the video. Period.
In it, like, because it didn't make a lot of sense to me in some ways. I thought it was a really weird aspect.
Again, it's almost like you're admitting that you were already biased against Janae. You know, hence why you shit on her appearance for most of it, and then actively go, oh, I'm not making light of her appearance. I think she would agree she looks outlandish. I'm sorry, that's making light of her appearance. You can say it in as dainty and as light of a tone as you want. You're still saying, wow, she looks weird. Like, period.
Of the story, so if I wasn't confident in saying it, I should have just not said it.
Wow. It's almost like at the time, yeah, were confident in it and did believe your biases and decided to run with it.
Period, point blank. Also, I know that some people are critical of the delayed response I had when I apologized to Janae. And
yeah, you know, the ignoring her for straight 2 weeks and ignoring everybody from the second day that they commented, hey, this is kind of a load of bullshit. So yeah, you know, it's delayed. It's almost like you were actively running.
And for that, I also have to say I'm sorry. I think the unfortunate thing is it took me a lot longer than it should have to differentiate between valid criticism and hate.
You, somebody who claims to be a journalist, needs to actively know the difference between somebody saying, hey, fuck you, Blaire, and Blaire, this video has a lot of misinformation. Maybe you should retract it. You can't tell the difference? Really? Somebody who actively tries to tactfully handle tough subjects, like pedophiles on the internet. You can't differentiate criticism from people actively attacking you. Bullshit.
And it wasn't the right thing to do, but I think that for a minute there I had my blinders on because
Because you were already biased. And you don't want to admit it Because it's almost like that's what people have been calling out for years. That you are actively biased. And no, I don't care if she's biased against pedophiles. I'm biased against pedophiles. Fuck you if you want to fuck children. You're disgusting. Go to jail. Do not collect $200. But, like, having an active bias against people like Janae, somebody who literally has done nothing to you or to anybody as far as research can tell, the fuck kind of reason do you have to make this weird vendetta against people like her? Why? That's all that your video ended up proving, is that you have, like, a weird bias / vendetta against non-binary people.
So used to sort of, you know, I do controversial topics on every video.
Which is why you should understand the difference, Blaire.
So there's always people mad, and I think to a certain extent, I was almost just in this rhythm where, like, post a video, people are mad. Post a video, people are mad. But this time...
You know, which is why you actively called TehMiMi a clout chaser when she said, hey, you're misrepresenting, you know, details. You turned it around saying, oh, you want credit for your clip that I used? Wow, you really want clout out of this. You remember that? TehMiMi remembers. By the way, TehMiMi's video is down in my description too. Feel free to give her a look and a follow. Tell her Fallout sent you.
Obviously, people were mad for a valid reason.
Gee, it's almost like on day 2, people were telling you were spreading lies. And you decided to take that as, oh no, trans people mad.
And it was always valid, and I should have recognized it even sooner.
Wow, almost like you took the words out of my mouth, Blaire. Now, are you ever gonna actively, I don't know, stop doing this kind of shit? Ever?
You know, part of doing this is keeping your ears open to criticism and allow...
You know, which is why we'll see if you take the criticism of the comment that I left on your on your little book video. The one where you read a overnight shipped ebook.
Allowing that in, that's important in life in general. So I'm definitely taking this as just a learning opportunity to implement that in every area of my life, here and in my real life. I'm not infallible. I'm most definitely susceptible to getting things wrong.
And I'm not going to say that, you know, she has to be perfect, okay? I will even say that. Nobody is perfect. There will always be something to slip through the cracks. It's your job to check and recheck your research, to go back and to double check. That's literally all she had to do. It doesn't seem like she even went through the first round of reading.
And it's really how you respond to it once you...
Oh my god, my poor computer. Jesus Christ. Buddy, I'm trying to... I swear, I'm working fast. I have a fan on it. I have an extra fan. Everything. Oh my god, my poor computer. It wants to incinerate itself. I swear.
You do get it wrong, that makes all the difference, and I totally get that.
You know, which is why you seemingly actively didn't double check your research and willfully put out lies.
To everyone who knows my character and knows that it was an honest and genuine...
To everybody who knows my character. To all of the people that I'm close friends with that won't call me out on my bullshit. They know me.
A mistake without me even saying it. I definitely appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for going to bat for me. I know it's not always easy to go to bat for people on the internet, especially when...
You know, which is why I haven't actually seen any of her friends actively defending her. Then again, I'm not on Twitter.
They actually did objectively mess up. Like, I actually did get this wrong. Unfortunately.
Gee, it's, again, almost like you lied and failed to do the one thing you pride yourself on, which is research.
Unfortunately, I cannot promise that I'm never going to get anything else wrong because I am human and I definitely am going to get things wrong. But what I...
And again, like I said, I'm not telling you be absolutely perfect. I'm saying double check your shit like you used to do in school before you turned in your essays for a grade. You know? That's something you learn as a kid, to double check your work. Something you clearly actively ignored. Just like details about Janae.
I can promise is to work my absolute hardest to not let this type of thing happen again, to minimize the cracks for which an inaccuracy can slip through.
Does that mean also, like, stop actively hating on people for staying at point A? I know that that's not mentioned in, like, this video or the trans athletes video, but that's also something a lot of people are pissed off at. Because, if I recall, you have a video about how you describe how you don't want the bottom surgery due to the risks. Some people could say you're halfway to point A. I don't think that. I think you're still a woman just because you're a woman. You come off as a woman, you identify as a woman, you're a woman. Just like if somebody identifies as non-binary, they're non-binary. Me, I am a man. I'm a man. So, like, I don't know where I was going with that point. I'm so tired and angry and lightheaded. But, like, are you gonna just stop actively hating non-binary people? And, like, stop actively shitting on them, or literally anybody that isn't, quote-unquote, going from point A to point B? Because, like, let's put it this way. Blaire, what if I never got my chest surgery? Or my bottom surgery? Would you say that I'm choosing to stay at point A, even though, say, I actively want hormones, actively identify as male, actively try to present as male? Like, are you saying that because I'm not having the surgeries, I'm probably not what I am? Because that's what it comes off as. It comes off really... Again, I know that she doesn't mention this in this video or the trans athlete video, but it's one of the bigger issues that people have with her.
And to just be more steadfast in reactions to things as well. I'm also highly aware that...
So, like, instead of actively ignoring every comment you get as if it's a hate comment, in your words?
Apologies, especially on the internet, are not just some magical fix-all of a situation.
They also don't work when you apologize for the same thing over and over and over again.
And that you really do have to pledge to just do better going forward.
Which again, we'll see if you end up making yet another apology for the same thing again.
And I'm definitely giving each and every person watching this that pledge. It's been a lot of self-reflection for me these past couple weeks of...
Yeah, I would take your word on it, but you literally have proven to me in this video that your word means nothing. Your word means nothing to me, Blaire. And to 7.9 thousand others like me, your words mean nothing. Because it's almost like you've wasted your words and your credibility and almost actively destroyed it on your own. Now, I'll admit there's, like, videos by iNabber that aren't, quote-unquote, helping the situation, but nonetheless, man, I feel like you could have done better, but just chose not to. That's what it comes off as. Because this video, not this one, obviously, but, well, this one too, but like, your trans athlete video was beyond just spat out. You seemingly just didn't bother in the long run.
Me logging off after posting that apology, and, I know a lot of people were frustrated that I went offline, and...
No, it wasn't that people were frustrated that you went offline. People were frustrated that you were hiding from the criticism. That you weren't addressing / issuing a retraction. You weren't, letting people know, hey, I kind of messed up. I'll make a video addressing this soon. I'll make an announcement and stuff. You literally just kind of went out of your way to hide your apology. It's like, yeah, no, I put it up there. It's on my Twitter. I put it on my Instagram story. There's this video. Yeah, but your video is literally like the bare bones minimum to attract any views. Most of your audience probably isn't going to click on it. Like, look at this. You see all these views? They more than likely are the bare minimum amount of followers that knew what was happening or were acknowledging it and decided to click it. Okay? Because, oh, new video by Blaire. Not everybody has your notifications on. Hence why I'm pretty sure majority of your audience will never click on it. And majority of your audience is here for your political and pedophile shit. Like, point blank. They're here for exposing pedophiles and talking about Donald Trump. Like, that's what got you your views, is being a Trump-supporting non-binary basher, basically.
And want me to just come back and say more, and I understand that perspective, but
It's not that we wanted you to come back and say more. We wanted you to address that you fucked up, own up to it, and then, move on. In a timely manner, instead of waiting 2 weeks until you lost thousands of subscribers, until Janae started talking about seeking legal action and legal advice, then you decided to speak out about it on your YouTube in the most bare bones way, so as few people saw it as possible. You realize how actively shitty that is, don't you?
I also think it was healthy. Hard but healthy.
Right.
For me to have that self-reflective time,
and I'm not gonna say, like, don't take time for your own mental health. Mental health is important for everyone. If you need to, distance yourself from the internet. Do what it takes to get back into a healthy mindset for yourself. I'm not gonna say, like, no, you gotta live and breathe your YouTube channel. I would never say that to anybody. More or less, because why? Why? Why would you live and breathe your channel? But at the same time, it doesn't explain why you couldn't just answer Janae when she first messaged you. Instead of actively saying, oh, the person that I talked to, I couldn't differentiate it as hate when they said that I lied about them.
I feel like I'm better for it, to be honest. So I repeat, Janae does not compete in both leagues. Janae competes in just the one, just men's. And I'll end this with just another sorry to Janae for getting you wrong and allowing...
But I'm not sorry for leaving the video up for 2 straight weeks and for actively ignoring everybody telling me that my information was wrong.
By proxy, other people to get you wrong. Wasn't cool. And thank you to everyone for hearing me out. And until next time. Bye.
Yeah, there won't be a next time, Blaire. Because, I unsubbed. Because I'm done. I can't. I literally can't. This was a depressing live stream. I feel horrible that I actually liked Blaire's videos, that I actively supported quite a few that actually had misinformation spread about people that really didn't deserve it. And I'm just really hoping that all of us can move on from the Blaire White mindset at some point. I don't know when that'll be, and I don't know necessarily that, that, like, my words will change anybody's mind. More or less because I'm a tiny tuber. Like, practically no one follows me, so I have a feeling my words don't mean shit, but lots of bigger YouTubers have called her out too, and have, actively shaped other people's minds to draw their own conclusions. So, I would hope that you come to your own conclusion as well. I'm not saying that you gotta dislike Blaire just because I dislike Blaire. I just dislike that it took me this long to realize, wow, I'm following and supporting kind of a shitty person. And I don't know if I'm gonna feel better from that, to be fair. Oh well. I'd like to thank everybody that popped in and watched and dealt with my really grating voice and my repetitive points. I'd also like to thank Blue Jay FX for chilling out in my little chat over here. I'm sorry that I didn't respond to you, like, at all. I'm, like, so sorry. I usually try to answer comments, but then, like, I'm dumb. That's my only defense. I'm dumb. Oh well. Fingers crossed. We're gonna do a Homestuck update live stream at some point. There might be, I don't know, a special birthday live stream for somebody tomorrow, but I'm gonna have to rework whatever the hell I'm doing for the stream, because, God, don't you just love it when your friends actively change fandoms? Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna stop my rambling and I'm gonna let everybody else get it back to their lives. I am Fallout Sheppy. Thank you for joining, and I will see you in the next stream. Have a good one.